What's up, y'all? Here we are in the garden. It's Friday, May 22nd. I'm gonna give you all the rundown, just what's been going on, so you can kind of look and see before you come. Everything's looking nice and full. It's been really wet. We got the sprinklers going. Plus the heat and the rain and the heat again just makes it pop. So this is what it is. The work that we're gonna do is mainly a lot of cleanup. I want you to notice we got the wood chips in the front. And I'm starting to move away from digging the bed so intensely. And so I'm thinking one of the things, if there's never a task or you get bored, is to start putting wood chips in these pathways. Not super thick, just a little covering so that the weeds don't come through and so it's not super muddy. So you can see the difference there and there. Now check that bed of arugula. Ooh, looking good. All right, so first tasks at hand. Starting with the peas, come through and we're gonna pull out the weeds. We're gonna weed all these beds because I have not had time, been basically just turning and seeding and not had time to come through and weed. So you can see even these beets, these got seeded in the early days of COVID. They got some weeds popping through right there, and especially this one. These beets are real little and the weeds are bigger. So we wanna be really careful coming through. These are the beets, and everything in between is a weed. So we're just gonna come through, find those weeds, and pull them out. Right? Some of them are nice and big, which is exactly why we wanna get them before they start to cover the beets, okay? Then you'll be able to start to see the rows of beets again. So that's a really important one. These newly seeded beds, even more important than the ones that are already coming up. So let's get these ones weeded right here. We got these beets and these beets. Not so much weeds here. I think we could pull that chard out. Keep these beets just going. And then we got these carrots back here. As you can see, the purslane and the carrots. These are the carrots, little carrots. And we want to just get all these little guys out right here. In between, you can just come through with your hands, rake it out. But for the weeds, we got to pull them out. And we're going to want to take this purslane and toss it because it'll reroot in the pathway if we leave it there. So we're going to do those beets, these carrots, and then these carrots right here. That's the big work in terms of weeding. Next up on the list is to come back in here and see the cilantro all flowering back here. It's actually really good for the insects. But I wanted to flip this bed into a celery bed. We got the celery already going and some of it's starting to bolt already. So I want to clear out this bed and then we can put some more stuff in there. These radishes are bolting. We didn't get a harvest out of them. I think I seeded them too thick. So we're gonna clear out this bed so it's totally clear, ready to plant. And this arugula, which is flowering, clear this bed so it's totally clear, ready to plant. And clear this bed. These radishes also bolted. We didn't get a harvest out of those, unfortunately. So we have 3 beds that we're gonna totally clear. This bed right here on the right, the bed way in the back of those radishes, and then the arugula right there that's flowering. And I also actually skipped over this bed of cilantro right here, which needs to be weeded. So the cilantro is right here. You can see the rows. And this purslane, it grows really quick. It's actually edible, but it's also classified as a noxious weed. We want to get that stuff out. Okay, so we're gonna weed this bed of cilantro, that bed of beets, the other bed of beets, and the bed of carrots in the back. We're gonna weed these peas, these beets right here, these beets over here, these beets over here, and we're gonna clear the radishes, the arugula, these radishes. So we got 3 beds that'll be cleared, ready to get planted, and a number of beds that need to be weeded. can also just come through the pathways and weed. And then we're gonna start to clean up these flowers. So the idea is we want our pathways still to be nice and clear. These flowers